So, I don't really have the assets I'd normally have, so I'm gonna have to do the Q&A with Sunny the Super Sun as my avatar, cause why not? Anyways, welcome to the Q&A. Here I'm gonna answer a few questions that have been in the comments, and now let's get this thing started. Our first question comes from a guy named Speedy Boy 385, who asks what my favorite color is, what's my Roblox user, and what type of cartoons/animations do I like. To finish off the first question on his little thing, my favorite color, if you couldn't tell from the Raisin Animation logo, is red. For the second question, I actually have two Roblox users, or at least usernames. There's Roads Free, which I'm going to show about here. And the next one is, that. You can try and figure out where to find that. Let's see, what's the next part? Oh, types of cartoons and animations I like. Well, going off of genres, I comedy, and I like, stuff like Tiny Toons, Animaniacs. I guess you could say a little bit of gross out humor, I guess, which you'll probably see later on when I talk about my favorite shows. Just a little mix of the funny stuff, and especially when animations get like really fluid for some reason. I don't know why. I just like how clean it is. Okay, this will be a quick question to answer. Next was from Dano Talks, who wants to know, how old is Mike and Ike? Now, this question came from a scene from the episode Cute Cuddly Creatures, the video game, where Ike says that the game Mike picked up was for teens, which probably means that, they're not teenagers. And personally, I never actually thought of their age myself, but since I based it off of like Clarence and like other shows, I guess you could say that they are kind of young. So if I were to guess, I would say that Mike and Ike would be around maybe 10 or 11, maybe. Personally, I like to think that mostly like the main characters, except Lucas, would be like 10 or 11, while Lucas would be like 12, considering he like thinks quicker than the other characters. Like he knows what to do. You can rewatch Stupid to figure the episode Stupid in order to figure out what I mean. Okay, this is gonna be a long one, so I'm gonna see if I can do this. So question 1: are Mike and Ike inspired by anyone you know personally? If not, do you have any inspirations that contribute to your character's personalities? What inspired you to collab a web series in the first place? Okay, so I'm gonna start with those two questions. Ironically, Mike was actually based on a character from this little known show called Group 5, and one of the characters was named Zachary, and he actually inspired Mike a lot. To be honest, there's only like 2 episodes of Group 5 that are like out there, which is to me kind of sad. I got to have a few shorts, but if you type in Group 5 Zachary, you're gonna find an episode probably, and it's like really good, so you can go check that out. But yeah, that's kind of the main inspiration for Mike, to be honest. Just like, also you can probably see it in like the look and stuff. But the one character that I think I also inspired Ike for, because none of them are actually inspired by anyone I know personally. I inspired Ike from Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory, or like any like Sandy Cheeks, for example, because Sarah's inspirations came from 2 characters. It was from Lenny from the Loud House and Mugman, which was a show created by Jacob Leonard. I think that's how you say it. He's more well known on his YouTube channel as like Lenstar, I think. The inspirations were Ralph from Ed and Eddie, and Lucas. I think that's Lucas. It's actually based on one of my friends, which I'm just gonna say has a similar name. I'm not gonna say his actual name because, privacy and all that. I'm pretty sure the next question was why I was inspired to create a animated like web series in the first place. And it's actually kind of because if you actually check the Mike and Ike wiki, you'll probably know this, but so around in like 2015, 2016, I was watching Johnny Test, and for some reason I thought, hey, that looks impressive, I want to do that. So I diddle doodle of two characters that would later become Mike and Ike, and for the longest time, I've always, like, when I was younger, I always think, I'm just going to do this when I'm older, when I have more experience with animation. And then I keep thinking that until I realize, hey, what if I just don't do it in the future? And then I realize, I have the tools. I can just do the series now and put it on YouTube. So, yeah, it's kind of because of, I realized that I can do what I can do, and it doesn't need to be great. It just needs to be something I want to do, and like just something I can put out there and say, hey, this is my animation. It's probably gonna get like 4 or 5 views, but that doesn't matter because I'm putting out stuff that I like. And the next question was, what is my favorite characters in general? And I'm not sure if that means like that I've created, or if it's like just like in general, like just characters I like in like other shows. But going off of the idea that this is characters I've created, so I know that we have the episode after that, but the one character that I think I like that I created was I really like Ike, because it's kind of, he has like a big brain, but he also knows that he can get a little egotistical, he can go far with his boundaries, Oh yeah, also it mentioned favorite Mike and Ike episode, and I think it was, personally my favorite so far was, what was it? It was the, I think it was, I forgot the name, but I do know it was like, it was the Halloween special, because I had like a bunch of ideas for it, but I decided, aliens, simplest thing, and I think I just really like, getting spooked, like spook and others and all that, but just like in a fun kind of way. I don't like legit horror, The next question was actually something that, at the time that he posted the question, wasn't actually on the Roots Network Roots and Animation website, which you can actually check now. You can actually find it on my YouTube page. But he was asking if I could add an area where you could submit fan art, because originally he couldn't. Dano Talks, by the way, what I'm talking about. He couldn't actually be able to submit fan art, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and figure out if I can do that. And later on, he gave me an idea, and it ended up actually working now. So that's I need to really stop. That's that question. This is unscripted, by the way. Despite what it seems, I haven't actually gone and gotten anyone to actually help with my work, like my animations, because most of it's just me. I do like all the animation. I think about the ideas. I do get inspiration from stuff, but most of it's kind of just me doing stuff. And although I may get like some like ideas from friends, other than that, it's not really much. The next question is any of my favorite shows, current or nostalgic. For current, I have been watching some Goose Troop, which is on like Disney Plus, and it's actually a really good show. And I've also been going and watching some like occasional random stuff, like just like shows I wouldn't expect to like but end up loving, I have a lot more things to talk about for nostalgic, however, because the nostalgic things I like include Clarence, which was a show on Cartoon Network. I don't know how many episodes it had. I think it was like, but I remember watching it. And Breadwinners, which is like a Nickelodeon show. I think I've mentioned that a lot. Those are my little picks. Final question from Dano Talks was if the Mike and Ike theme was original, and if it wasn't, then where did it come from? But the theme actually came from a show, like a You know about Doug from Nickelodeon? Yeah, there's like a Disney version of Doug, and they made the theme song what you hear in Mike and Ike, and I first heard it and I was like, that's really good. I want to use that for my show. So I found an instrumental, and I used it for Mike and Ike. The final question in general is from Rocco Wallaby, who said, delete your channel. Well, I mean, you heard the man. Okay, anyways, bye.